Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out down on, West Worthing Beach down here this morning on an early Sunday morning. The sun is sort of just got up and it's shining down. I'm not quite sure how much sunshine we've got this morning, so I wanted to come out nice and early because I actually want to do a video about thoughts on my van. Rather than doing it at the back of my house where it's pretty boring and dull, I thought I'd come down onto the seafront and just have a look at the beautiful colours here, because it is always lovely. And you can never have too much seaside in your videos. But we're going to go up to the van, which I've parked on the promenade, well, not actually on the promenade, on the seaside road by the promenade, and have a look at some of the ideas I've got. Because as we potentially get out of lockdown, there is a chance that I can then go away and spend a bit of time further afield bringing you some of these videos that are not just stuck within a few miles of my house. Now, I've made several videos about my van, about the buying of the van, and about, you know, what it's like having had the van for a certain amount of time, and I am very, very pleased with it. And of course, I got it around about October time last year, so I hadn't had it very long. Then we went into winter, and now we're on the edge of spring, so going to be coming out very soon into what is going to be much more conducive weather to go touring around. And because of that, it's now time to seriously think about little modifications that one could make. The first thing is that when, as you can see, the interior of the van is dark, it's black, it's a black van. Now I like that because being black, it means that it's quite discreet. It's a transit van, and as you've seen from the outside, it just looks like an ordinary van. Now I've seen other vans which have been, what's the word, transferred, changed, can't think of the word, where it's been changed into a camper van from an ordinary van, but it seems bleeding obvious. I don't want my van to look obvious. I like to arrive somewhere. If I've got to stay overnight, stay overnight discreetly, not let anybody think there's anybody there, go and do my videoing, because that's what it's about. And often it is a question of getting out early, getting out when there's nobody about, so that I don't feel too self-conscious, and indeed other people don't get in the way of the shot. So from the outside it's brilliant, but from the inside it is very dark, and I need to do something about that. I've just moved along a bit, actually, along the coast to an area which was a bit more deserted. Sitting there on the prom, I was quite exposed, and there am I filming, holding my camera and all the rest of it. And people are just stopping, gawping at you. It can be quite off-putting, as you can imagine. Anyway, so I've moved along a bit so I can talk about the van. Now, I hadn't realised how tricky this is going to be, holding the camera and trying to sort of move about this very confined space, but this is something I've got to get used to, because on various occasions I'm going to be out and about and I will be reporting from my van. So I've got to try and work out how to do this and do it in a way that is easy for me and easy for the viewer to understand and appreciate. So there's a whole load of problems, and I can understand if you've got a bigger camper van and you see these people with their camper vans and cameras all over the place. So it may be that I resort to smaller cameras, which might be the way forward. So anyway, here is a couple of my issues that I've got. First of all, I have this table effect which I can pull down here, which is fantastic, and I can sit here and I can edit away. Sorry, the sun is bleaching out the image, so I'm going to come in a bit. So I can do that, but this and the chair limits what I can, my moving around space. So I want to potentially move the chair. Behind me here is my loo. Now I have to say, and I've mentioned this before, the loo is the biggest godsend of the whole lot really, and I'm so thrilled that I've got it there. How silly that may sound, but it's absolutely true. So that's fantastic, but of course it takes up a lot of space. Behind me is my bed, and there's a video where I spent the first night in bed, and I'll link to that below so you can see how that worked in the night. It worked really well, and actually it was more comfortable than I realised. So I've got a blanket down here, so it is all quite cramped. So I've got the loo, it takes up a bit of space. What I'm thinking is, if I could move my seat to here behind me, that would be fantastic, because then I could sit here and look out at the door, which would be so much better. I've toyed with the idea of moving this table here. Sorry if I move that back a bit. Moving this table and all of this, and putting a window through the bulkhead. That's an idea, so I can get a bit more light, so that I don't have to have the door open, especially if it's cold, first thing in the morning or something like that. And also if there's people around and I want a bit of privacy, but I want a bit of light, more than just the tiny light that the darkened light, you know, the whatever you call it, the little side light window, the darkened window, the smoke window, the dark glow. I don't know what you call it. I don't have the terms. Anyway, so that's that. But here's the other idea. Is this has a flat roof. I'm wondering, and now maybe somebody can advise me on this, how possible is it to actually cut a square out of the roof without damaging the integral strength of the van, and putting in a piece of toughened glass that is sealed that can act as a window? Is that possible? Can I get a window in the top of the van? That's the question I want to ask, because that would be so useful if I could. So yeah, let me know. That would give me light from above, so I could work on it. Nobody would necessarily be able to peer in, because they'd have to crawl on top to peer in, and I could put a roller blind over there if I want to darken it up a bit at night time. So what about externally to the van? People have asked me, am I going to put Bald Explorer logo on the side of the van? For the moment I'm not going to do any of that. I think that's might be asking for trouble really. The other thing is an awning or some such thing. Now people have sent me these pictures of things that you can clip onto the back of the van, which will go on the back and I think clip over, which they kind of look okay, but I'm not convinced. They all look a bit flimsy and a bit sort of, they might blow away in the wind, and I don't know, I want something that's also a bit quirky and not too commercial. So I was thinking of something that would clip on the doors here, that would just shelter me if I want to cook but be outside. I think I could cook on that little table and open the window so there's no gas problems. But if I could get something so it just clips on the top of the two doors, that could work. Or I just simply get a gazebo which I can erect. The thing is, as I say, I'm trying to be relatively discreet, but if I'm in a deserted part of the country, and I want to have breakfast and do a piece to video and what have you. It would be great just to clip something up, sit in there, and also in the evenings. What am I going to do in the evenings? That's the thing. It's very cramped inside, so I want some outdoor space as well. So and perhaps a little bit of shelter if the weather turns a bit grim. I don't want to be trapped inside the box. So there's plenty of conundrums to address at the moment. So of course I welcome all your ideas. People who do lots of camping with camper vans probably have many ideas of things that you can do. So yeah, do let me know your thoughts. The window in the roof, that's something that may be a no-no. Maybe I shouldn't do it. So that's curious. And really, because what I didn't say before is I would move this seat here to the back so it goes over the loo, but can be moved when I want to use the loo. So it just gives me more space in here to do dressing in the mornings and whatever else you want to be doing, cooking, sitting, just watching the sunshine rather than having to sit forward all the time. Anyway, they're my thoughts on the van. I don't know whether they've been coherent or anything, but thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, and let's hope we do get out of these restrictions fairly soon and I can experiment this year by taking my van on the road and bringing you some landscape, heritage and nature whilst staying away. That's the plan. Take care, thanks for watching, bye bye.